Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. Depending on who say you in the world, your own time go different from other man your own time. And I welcome one more time to the Unifier Hour. We glad you wanna don't join me back again today. My name is Navalda Kaikai and I'm the hostess. Um, as usual, like for ask everybody where they on with we right now, make una share the link una use for join we. And I want for make una remember say we day on all the different social media platform them. We day on YouTube, we day on Facebook, we day on X, we day on Instagram, we day on LinkedIn, and we get two number they wanna can call we if una want. Una can reach we by WhatsApp using the number +232 75 052 135. Again, that's +232 75 052 135. Una can also reach we any side from the west. Una can reach we on +1 778 732 2180. Welcome one more time, and as usual, I'll make I introduce we panelists then today, so that we go get on to we discussions right away. So we get with we this afternoon, Mrs. Abiose Pierre. Mrs. Pierre, come on up and say hello to our viewers and listeners.
Family Onado, I glad for day back at the program.
Thank you, Mrs. Pierre. And we get Mr. James Hallowell. Mr. Hallowell.
Fambulona Ado, we gladly and welcome you back to the Unifier Hour. Let me say gladly for there.
All right. Well, as usual, we're not going with STEM as we don't start. We they go straight into we discussion of the day. Today we want to discuss a couple of things we see don't happen na salon. One of the things that we want to talk about been happened about 2 weeks ago, where we Parliament enact the law against child marriages. And no say for Boku, it will come as a welcome law, and for some, it not go be so welcome. So I want for let we just look at that particular law day a little bit today in with discussions. And I will start with Mrs. Pierre, because being that this mostly they affect girl picking them na salon. I want to ask Mrs. Pierre, where you first hear about this new law? Waiting you been think, what you been feel, Mrs. Pierre? Waiting up your reaction.
A good initiative, honestly, and a good thing, I think, if they're doing the right way. But my question is, the law now for all man? The question the way I ask Warida is, what about the one that will be already married? And the question be now the one that I'm already married, what about the one that will go sit on a oh stop to me? And I get a lot of questions. What about the one that way they're not married but they sleep with small picking them? So these are questions that we me ask, we me get. Me not a lawyer, honestly. I think the lawyer then go able for interpret that law they well. But these are questions that we may ask. And I hope say the one that we sit down for write that law they also ask them question then they.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Pierre. Your initial reaction really bring up three very important points that we yes definitely need for look at. The question of whether this law will be enacted retroactively. So then when they will be done married maybe at 14 or 15, then still not picking, they're not 18 yet according to the law. If then go annul their marriage, then they very, very important question. The other thing where you raise, the one that way just they tap to me, then just tap to the person. They're not married legally, but all man they look there as couple, whether this law being taken they into consideration, and also the one that way they in an intimate relationship and then are underage because they're not 18 yet. Very, very important points that you raise. Hopefully, we will get to them points then they are in with discussion. Mr. Hallowell, I want to let you share with we within a your initial reaction where you read or hear about this new law.
Well, thank you, Madam Valda. Um, I mean, fit to say this now, a welcome news. More so as they address a very thorny issue, a very challenging issue, where don't they affect the country for a very long time. And then I believe say again, now a good news because it will help we for move forward as a nation.
Mm.
And then even for the Pekin itself, where they enact this bill here for. I think say they don't finally liberate them, they don't finally vindicate them. They don't finally give them an opportunity for let themselves sit down and think as to how they can able move forward. Unlike before, where at a very early age, they can not already peg them or they don't give them to different husbands. Then they go any side, then life don't become change. Then life in focus don't be close and they make sure say they don't redirect them the wrong way. And just as I mean they try for do new research and understand more about the bill, the bill child marriage will almost a serious problem in Sierra Leone. About 30% of the people in into marriage and about 800,000 in figures in suspects when they already we don't marry both boys and girls. The woman in the married to man, mostly the woman, the girl picking in the married to man the way past the age, and then the boy picking himself, they married to woman the way big for them. But back to Mrs. Pierre, in one of the issues the way he raised, I think based on me understanding, this not a total ban, whether not before we retroactively or proactively, and anyway, any form, whether they don't leave before, na a total and complete ban this act here pass on the issue of child marriage. That I me understand it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hallowell. So indeed, Yusuf don't raise the idea, say, child marriage, not to just a localized thing na salon, not actually a global phenomenon. And I think you give me some statistics about child marriages in the United States, were a little bit shocking because we they think, say, for the kind country, um, I don't think say we ever they imagine say inside the United States then go get such high numbers of child marriages. But thank you for where you open your eye to that day because even me within a Canada, I've been look up the statistics of child marriages in Canada also. And between the years of 2000 to 2018, the legal child marriages will happen, which mean to say the Pekin in parents then get for give permission and then get for sign the application for marriage license, then get for sign the application for the marriage license. Now being 3,600 from 2000 to 2018, 3,600 child marriages done legally with the consent of the Pekin and parents them. Then they're also being careful for mention, say, that number the way we give una so, not to all the child marriages, it not include waiting then call naya common law. Common law, I think na salon we just they call on tap to me. It not include common law, and they also not include the one they way, run away from the host. Then the other side where them people they don't know sometimes they with somebody. So yes, child marriage not to a localized thing, na salon only, not to an African thing, not a global phenomenon. And on that note, I want to ask una, waiting are some of una thoughts them where una think say they continue for perpetuate this matter of child marriages. I will start with you, Mr. Hallowell.
Um, Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, Mr. Hallowell, if I can ask you, is it possible for turn your volume up a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Last. Yeah, now
Thank
all
you.
are the open. So yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
yeah. So the question again are some of the things that really perpetuate child marriages,
Yes.
and I think say both if we go back to research and outside research, we find out say some of the issues that we they push where they help for fear or for sustain child marriages them one na poverty, and we know the state of Sierra Leone. We know say Sierra Leone they battle with serious poverty. And I think say I mean they try for read back some documents them. We poverty rate is close to 60%. And that very, very serious. I mean people living on less than $1 a day. Although recently they may not upgrade them to $2 a day. But this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
And if people them poor, how it feel am, because of people them poor, they're not economically independent, then they see them gal picking them, say they can use them as an opportunity for pushing them to some husbands or a husband of them wouldn't like or wait and find out say in get that economic means for help that family or for help that gal picking. So the family in turn can survive from the gal picking. So that I mean one area that they would identify say now in the fear of sustained child marriage. The
Mm.
other thing na illiteracy, high levels of illiteracy again, and the prevalence in our country. We illiteracy rates don't higher over the years. And as such, people they don't know what it mean for sending picking and going to school. They don't know what it mean for help the picking and give them redirect in future other than for give them to marriage at a very early age, especially below 18. Because my understanding, where I'm in the work salon, based on policy definition, anybody with a below 18 are picking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so many of them, based on a whole lot of articles that I see, then ages them between them 14 to 16, not in any give most times for let them marry. And me, when I'm in the leave in Sierra Leone, especially in McKinney town, I may know of some picking where them just don't born already when they tell you them picking they don't get married already. Seriously. So lack of education or illiteracy, the fear landed, poverty, the fear landed, then they get what we call patriarchy, where this is a system where in a man and the controller. And this system, you know, a value gal picking them according to how they don't know man plaba. You see, then the system that in they make sure say it control them, how then they come out, how then they dress, what and they do, and all of them thing and they, you know, so it even regulate and control them behavior. So in order to make them as sort for being independent. So you see, so because of all this, now then also the system they give way for let them even dictate whose kind type of man in a community where the girl picking them for go to. So I just name a few. The
Mm-hmm.
patriarchy, and poverty, illiteracy, all and you get so many more we cancer. And Lord don't forget, I go the last one I go end up with now a culture and tradition, self.
Mm.
I will believe so culture, you can get picking to man, it's a very early, you see. You see? So I think say if these are some of the things that they sustain um early marriages or girl child marriages na salon.
Okay, thank you so much. Very good points there where you raise. Indeed, cultural practices now one of the very distinctive one day way they affect child marriages in a salon. Yes, poverty also the economic disparity between within families, among regions, between the educated and the uneducated. plus the illiteracy, nor they help at all, because if person don't understand the benefits of getting an education, then it definitely not go member even for putting pikin at school. So that is another thing where they continue for perpetuate this child marriage, because as far as they're concerned, once we can hit puberty, it's time to get married. But it then they really rob them care of their future. And then yes, the patriarchy, now the society, everything is so uh, terribly slanted toward men, and they wield all the power in the society. So, Mrs. Pierre, I want for you say Rob more on this topic here. Waiting are some of your own thoughts them where you get regarding the push and pull factors where they continue for perpetuate child marriages na salon.
Thank you very much, Madam Valda. Yes, I think Mr. Holloway don't say all of it. Really, some of the things I want to say, but I want to come back to when we think about education. You cannot believe these men are well educated men. It's a shame because these are people. I can always say, or we can always say, we can't see civilized past the people. Because why these are people, men that we don't travel. I can tell you where December can. Well educated men, things that we not get mind do now they come to the side and then they run for go na salon for go. So I think for me the big factor, the biggest one is poverty. Poverty, poverty, poverty. Because people then poor, then if you say this man rich, he get money, so now him we picking for marriage to power. Even when the pikin say, Mama, I want go school. And the idea for say Salona a male dominant country. Now that makes so then feel say no more girl picking and kids anyhow, girl picking up for go school. Well be the reader, so be small, be reader one pot. But then they advertise na radio say, no, let forgive picking to child married. The culture where we find we say. But I mean, we don't get people that way they travel now. We get for find way how for educate them people they are say sensitize them say yes. You got picking also you earn so you meet. But I think poverty are the biggest factor in all of this. Where we say, if you see the one that when they married, so mostly sometimes the man get money now all pass, but because sometimes you get kiosk now the area and I get money pass all man. So power now for married that bikini. Or sometimes this man here come oversee, oh now oversee come on, and they take care of the whole family, now they pay chop money. Now all of that then are the facts for them. So for me, the law is fine, but I really get skeptical about it because the basic things, the basic needs, the factors that where they lead to child marriage, they not really tackle that. You know they cut the aid, you left the roots. So I think as Sierra Leone and as a government, as community people, that we need for tackle the root cause of the problem. Educate these children. Provide means for people that way then go able for take care of their family. Honestly, if Mr. said in a village, I'm not able to take care of me picking there, I'm not able to feed there, and this one picking I find this fire gets more money, you will get before all man die, we will sacrifice one. You know what I mean, eh? But we
Yeah.
need for you tackle the root end.
Okay.
The root
Uh,
cause, sorry.
you don't mention another aspect of this law where I will get to in a little bit, but I want to go back to this idea of poverty. Um, you mentioned James Hallowell mentioned and it just now something we just cut deep for me, because when you think about saloon, small country like saloon, we get only 8 million people. We get the world's third largest bauxite mine. We get um, titanium, where then they use for surgeries, very sought after metal for surgeries. We get gold, we get diamonds, we get petroleum deposits, we get the luminite I know they use for make titanium. We get luminite, we get um rutile, within they use for coat all airplanes, all jets are coated with rutile. We get coltan, within they use for make all cell phones. When you think of a country like Dande, we get then kind mineral they are in abundance. We'll not even begin talk about with forestry, wood like mahogany and teak, where they fetch the most exorbitant prices on the world market. Why Salone for be a poor country? And I'll start with you, Mr. Hallowell, on this again.
Yes, a very interesting question, Andy. The poverty of a national situation. Um, for so many reasons. Again, I go frame that within appearance and reality. We appear forget all them thing and day what you don't call so. But in real sense, then the benefits we no. Then the impact with social and economic life, no. So if we go deeper as to why then thing and day they happen, good governance can be one thing. We leaders then, if then they mind then thing they are judiciously on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, whatever revenues they will come, it impact we, it will see them, it able create jobs for we, then they use them the right way, only God knows. So therefore, we will be poor within the face of all of them minerals that we call. Then at the end of the day, will they sell them out, or then they mine them, or then they extract them. But the leaders are not accountable to it. So that in turn, this is just roughly within the good governance framework and accountability. Then we also want to look at not to internal factors and but lot jump come outside. When we self know, but say the prices of some of the minerals there, that the international world they determine them. And unfortunately, then get a system where it be for say, then they value them products here region by region. And now when I mean do the diamond mining campaign with West African Witness, that was in 2010, 2011, with West African Witness at the Netherlands and the Netherlands Institute for Southern Africa, NISA. I mean, therefore, can no see the gold and diamond they come out from South Africa and even the Democratic Republic of Congo, a much more high grade compared to the one in Sierra Leone. So automatically the prices are not the same. But if then here the commoner, we country will not abuse them, and then now people in the price them for we, there's a whole lot of problem there. So
Let interject small, Mr. Hallowell. Yes, the gold and diamond where they come out na Congo and where they come out na South Africa on the world market is priced higher. However, there's a lot of reports out there in social media, in standard media, say plenty of the diamond, it's plenty of the diamond and gold where they come out salon, then they smuggle and go South Africa and sell them as South African. So
And
again,
it's all
is it
about branding.
real? Yes. One second. Is it true that our diamonds and our gold are of lesser quality, or is it simply because we not get the kind level of advocacy where we need on the international stage for able for stand with ground and say absolutely not, you are not going to devalue our minerals? Waiting on for this. And yes, Mrs. Pierre, please come in.
Exactly my thoughts. It's all about branding when it comes to business. How Salon brand in diamond and in minerals them. It's all about branding. Let's go back to the first question of Mr. Allowell. Let me tell you, yes, good governance is one. But I think we need to go back to the what do you say,
That's it.
the sliding slate. We need to
Mhm.
go back and start for teach we begin them patriotism. Salo, we're not patriotic at all. We're not patriotic to we serve. We're not patriotic to be country. We have to teach them how. You see certain things in the way they come on at the United States. It's not as quality as it is.
No,
But they are being taught how to be patriotic. They are being taught how to brand their country, how to brand their products. If we as Sierra Leone can catch that gist just a little bit, we go see how them minerals they also go benefit we. We need for teach we people them. We begin and now let's say that they don't old now. The people that were there before they don't old. But let we start for the future. Teach we picking them what it mean for love your country. What it mean for take care of you people, your person, where say somebody similar like you and all come on at the country. What it mean for like simple things like not throw away dirty in our streets because it will affect everybody. We need for teach we picking and that. Now that we not get, we not patriotic. When somebody find diamond, it is smuggle am. You know they count on to the government. Because when you count out to the government, what's in the government official they do it. You will find out the profits. If they take a seller instead keep the money. So instead of them do that, then say they hide and then go sell them for a cheaper price. When make and the diamond where they come in as well, no, they get quality. But if we teach people them what in patriotism mean, what in branding mean, Salon Diamonds, honestly, it will be higher than even South Africa and Congo they support.
yeah, I agree with you because we self them one of the larger broadcasting network in Canadian Broadcasting Service, the CBC. Let me do an expose during the time where Salon been still there under that civil war. Let me do an expose where they show one of the largest Canadian diamond company then, we then call De Beers.
Mhm.
Now them been there at the bottom of fueling that war in Sierra
Mhm.
Leone because of our diamonds. So anyway, back to you, Mr. Hallowell. I mean just want to interject on that one day because waiting I tell you so. Now also being part of waiting let me find out. Say we diamond they are quite high quality and they don't need much polishing. That is why they are so sought after.
Okay, I will continue. I will continue. I'm not going to deny the fact. And
Yes. No,
that
go
area
ahead.
where you tell me for the smuggle the diamond and go South Africa is
Mhm.
somehow new to me because we promote a whole campaign, Diamond Matters, where we look at, but mostly, I mean, how then they use beginning at the mines. Now,
Mhm.
Democratic Republic of Congo and Sierra Leone. That in 2010, that campaign they won for a whole year at the United Nations. And we also won on a Sierra Leone, that thing that they work with peace things. We make we do that song, what they call Diamond Matters. And I
Okay.
wish me forget maybe hopefully with time I will begin bring some of them materials and they out there listeners they just get a feel of her. So
Right.
I don't participate in the campaign. And they did know say the book where Nizar them published that the Netherlands Institute for Southern Africa in partnership with West African Witness. And I mean clear they say and talks now with diamonds they make Belgium, Paris, even
Yeah.
New York now. The Empire State Building, if you go inside in at the top floor, they even get some saloon diamonds and they wouldn't display the winner from Sierra Leone. Even
Mhm.
that I call them Star of Sierra Leone or Gem of Sierra Leone. It's there and then display and they. So these I mean some of the facts that we'll get for research we put together for that entire project there. So I'm not denying say with diamond not of high quality, but waiting the market do out there, they make
Mhm.
sure see them put some of them diamonds and they on top we. And
Mhm.
imagine if somebody they take somebody in goods and put on top you, then that means you will be of lesser price and that person in you go. And then again, even if you read Hearts of the Matter, Lance Berry, where I
Mhm.
think saying the current government, I mean one of the ambassadors or ambassador that I don't know if it's Switzerland or Belgium, did a Senate, where do that research Hearts of the Matter, where cost between the 60s coming to the 80s, we get over 5 million worth of dollars. What is $5 million what we don't make from diamonds then? Who sign them money then they go? So accountability no dey. Even when they say let some of the proceeds they go back when they introduce corporate social responsibility, the terminology we'll get for can landlords and then the work society. When they say some of the proceeds go to the communities, how we don't see exactly what are the vivid infrastructure or rewards we don't see from communities when they say this now the diamond proceeds them and they make this road. You go right at the heart of the matter. Inside, then they mind the diamond self. What's in the day? You're not going to like for sick or no. You're not going to believe say that this don't produce most of the very good diamonds in the world. We don't make history. You see that place it completely deviant. And let alone, I know they say the people in deviant, but the people have been left out. So accountability no day. You see? So with all of these things, this level of poverty, lack of accountability, lack of good governance, all don't feed to the poverty situation that people in their last hope, then see for say, well, then get them guy picking them. So why they not go give them to man them where they get some few or where they will economic power just for let them picking and survive. So we go for watch some of the things there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yes, that's for sure. Mrs. Pierre, you get anything else we want to add in terms of the in terms of this discussion?
No, just I think it covers it all. We just the government itself. We have to be wise in choosing people that will they put in place. We will be accountable. We will be responsible. We get a heart for the country.
Okay. Well, when I don't highlight a couple of things and the responsibility of global economic powers, because honestly, we Diamond and Salon, they're not being mined locally. They're being mined by locals as laborers, but they're not being mined for local Sierra Leonean companies. They're being mined for global economic powers. Um, and we know, like Mr. Hallowell mentioned, if you go na Kono, especially Usai, we get some of the largest diamond deposits in Salon. The town is not developed. There's hardly anything to show that this town is producing such wealth. I remember hearing or reading say the value of Salon diamond can pass hundreds of millions on a sorry, tens of millions on a daily basis. That inside Salon, even when they just do mining by hand, then can mine well over 60 to over 100,000, 100 million worth of diamonds on a daily basis. So it's wait I want for ask una. Also, una see or waiting una think say for be the responsibility of the global economic powers toward a country like Salon, where then they go and take raw resources from, where they lead to this poverty, where they fuel something like child marriages, waiting at their own responsibility in helping to end child marriages and end them effectively. I will start with you, Mrs. Pierre.
Me, Kieri, the Bible wouldn't say if post not buy you, if post not sell you, and it's not go buy you.
Mm,
So I think a lot of time when I hear international person, economical person, whatever, international body, we depend on them so badly that it annoys me, honestly. The thing is, we as Sierra Leone, we have to start to be responsible for we step forward. But let the international body or the global economy take this seriously. How you present it and how they take you on it,
mm,
like, you know. So we have to start with research. We have to start being accountable. We have to look for ideas them or bring expertise there where we go pay to teach we. I'm sure if we pay them, they teach we how to go about them. Then we keep able for all the global economy or the international world is responsible for whatever havoc within the cause or whatever way they make the diamond price they go down. So I think now we get for stats also. And even this child marriage issue, honestly, not so Sierra Leone and no more. We have
Mm-hmm.
people, foreigners coming to our country,
Mm-hmm.
things that they cannot even do in their own country. They're coming to Sierra Leone to do that with our kids. 16 years old, 14 years old. When I was in high school, I saw that, a girl that was dating a foreigner that was 16 years old. But we cannot hold them accountable until we start holding ourselves as Sierra Leone accountable. Then we will see progress.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, we need for begin change the rhetoric. And yes, Salon need for stand up. We need for stand up and realize, say, we are not the ones in need of aid from the West, because the West actually cannot survive without um, a lot of the resources that we are selling on the international market for next to nothing. So, in other words, now we the subsidize them, not them subsidizing us. But that rhetoric there will take a while for change. But let me go to Mr. Hallowell. Mr. Hallowell, what's in your own take? Also, you see the global economic powers their responsibility toward ending child marriages in Sierra Leone because their actions they tend for perpetuate the poverty where so rampant na Salone. You say 60%.
Um, Normally, based on what you know, I think one possible method. I don't know. I still need for time to do some research. If this don't come at UN level, and normally, if it don't begin with a Security Council resolution, if the thing don't come to the fore of the UN, normally the Security Council gives something
Sorry,
like
can I ask you, are you talking about the child marriage laws?
no. Yeah, I mean the child marriage issue.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah,
to say
because it is the Sustainable Development Goal number 5 of the United Nations.
very good.
Yeah.
So in that light, in that light, so normally countries now will prepare the national development goals or the national plan of actions and feed into this. So meaning say civil society will get access, other organizations then go get access for begin the international world can give some amount of money for make sure say then they circulate this information, let the least man na the village come for know about time. Then normally we can push just like how we said don't get the legislation. So now we can push within for make sure say when people they know this, the and then violate them the act, they are then they're not faced with nothing other than the full penalty of the law. I believe in a one way down there. So we make sure we create the international community. Don't put the sustainable development goals, and then now we don't go to an extent that it don't become part of national laws. So now for make sure say we provide the resources, we provide the mechanisms where we able help everybody for be aware say picking for married picking a crime, it no longer be acceptable, not to no longer business as usual. If you do harm, the law will come after you. We begin make sure say the international world forgetting monitoring mechanisms. And them mechanisms they are like I believe say every year we can submit communications on different issues to the United Nations. So I believe say will come up, we'll get an opportunity for communications at UN level. So for make sure say we monitor not to only the enactment of this law, but how far we don't go for make sure say we cut down that 30% of child marriage when we don't the ambogui for over the years. We got to make sure say we bring and calm down, if not totally eliminate them, but that number will come down and ensure say them picking and get in future.
Thank you. You don't
And like whatever like having. So
yes,
I
go ahead.
really hope and pray this work because I am over 30 years. And if I remember, when we small in a salon, We don't begin sensitize people. We don't pull radio station. We have flyers. Even our schools them. Honestly, I hope I'm very optimistic. I hope this year will work this time because it don't say now for lay salon day for this kind business as usual.
Yeah. Actually, what you wanna just mention, see, when I don't help me for segue into this law in possible impact na the country. For enact a law na one thing. For ensure say the law is actually implementable, the law is actually enacted. Na completely different story. I want to start with you, Mrs. Pierre. How well you think say this law go work, or wetin it will take for ensure say this law go be properly enacted and the impact will actually get the desired effect?
Um, like I said, a good initiative, but I know if you say we'll forget the desired effect soon. I'm a realist because you know why? Um, I think we don't visit child marriage before at the station, and I can tell you somebody where then a power in farming in farming. Just during those days, we you say me get new say that person they give small picking belly. So now something we get for take a while because like I say, me one question why begin what about the one that will be done married pikin? We don't for tell them say no, not marry that again. Where you don't born that pikin they 60, don't born maybe 2 or 3 pikin before you don't even 18 years it. So you got to take time. I think we got to be patient and I really hope say the one there, the powers that be, then go be example because my dear, the powers that be now they really they into these things with small picking them family and they travel they come and I hope say they mean business. But for now, an officer will get the desired effect. Maybe with time, we need to give it time. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, definitely. The fact that it's so entrenched in the society go make difficult for change. But I want for let we also see within are some of the ways then where this law can be um given some teeth, let it not just be something we write in the books, but something we actually go make an impact in the lives of little girls, families where they think for getting picking for married, um man the way they think for married small picking them. I think at the very beginning, Mr. Hallowell, you been mentioned say you don't see baby there where they tell you say they were already
Yeah.
man don't come off for them.
Mm.
So I want to ask you on let you say for multiple and this small.
Yeah. When I'm in the work in a salon, I attend series of meetings, civil society meetings, the way the issue of early marriage. Now so them in now so now the thing popular way that they mean they come up. And I remember one minute way na campaign for good governance. Now them me organizer. Now in somebody talk one thing where ever remain for sync na me heart until today. I better I get this opportunity to buy and come out. It said the problem is, it said the judiciary now in our problem. It said when they hold people in for rape, they hold people in for early marriages. It said then give them 2 years, then charge them 200,000 if they reach safe at that time. Then charge them waiting safe after a couple of weeks or months, they don't release them. They say how you feel to see you will make a dent on the crime. They say, but if you set example, you give that person some serious penalty. He say that will begin weakening the crime. He said, but the judiciary not the help. And unfortunately, I listened to one video this morning where I think the current Chief Justice they give one report to a group of donors and cross section of civil society. I wish for able to get within necessary for shelter. It detail the work of the judiciary. And I really at some point I admire small because I mean me forced in this for privy. I wish we for able get then kind of thing. So if them take this law, then circulate it to all the magistrates, all the which is the one knows eventually then go do, and then follow up then begin impose some tougher sentences on this. It will be a problem. Although it talks say you get some crime the way before say the laws them way for address the punishment of them crime in they don't owe, and parliament get for do more. So meaning say parliament gets a lot of work for do, not only for push this bill, but periodic reports for come and know the statistics of this crime, how it don't impact them, the culprits way broke the law, the punishment, and how then they continue for put a dent on this malaise in our society. Happy to say that could be ways as to how that can impact this law positively and affect early child marriages negatively.
Okay, so my final question to Una, because they round up very soon. I want to ask Una if Una able make recommendations to the government about waiting are some of the ways then can make sure say this law will be properly implemented. Waiting now some of the recommendation the way Una go give in terms of ensuring say okay, let give a bit of context to say what they think about. We know say in a salon, bribery and corruption they off the scale. So I go give me pikin for married, small pikin, reach 18 it. I give am for married because one big man come off for her and the man get money, the man don't can fix the roof na me house, he don't paint me house. Suddenly I don't begin live better because small money they come where I not be to get on my own. Then policeman come, a one can arrest. Well, because I don't begin get small money, myself able give small thing. Myself give this policeman small thing because himself in life hard. It turn a blind eye. So when there are some of the things the way we think say, like if we not get the platform for advice, let me say when they play the role of advisor to the government, what are some of the things that when I go tell them, when I think they go help for strengthen this law in the implementation practically. And I'll start with you, Mrs. Pierre.
So this not only be the police case, not a policeman no more, but under this, think the Ministry of Social Welfare will be equipped for that. First of all, let we start fresh. The question is, who that they can report say that man don't marry small pikin? I know they start. That the neighbor or na the pikin self they can report. We therefore go into that. If na the pikin say, my papa want give me into marriage, he left the house, he come. Waiting at the accommodation, who na they provide for that pikin. Because be sure say, if you don't carry reports, and papa no go want an house again. They're not going to accept and because they go say na like picking no one better. So the government putting a law now one, but we need to get structure for them in place. For example, the United States here we get women the way be say that they abuse them, but if they not get work, they not get side for them. Therefore able for provide space for them. Therefore able for provide security for them. So that now one. The Ministry of Social Welfare for be equipped, then for be trained. Social workers then for be trained. And the social worker then for be paid well. Because now one of the things, the way you not pay me better, I go some side and go give me half money. I go all. Because what's to make up for grab me do net for, where one picking call me say papa one girl for married, don't I know they pay me better. 5 months will not pay me. What do you expect? When you hear something, then go all. Yes, we they work for humanitarian, but come on now. We step where they work get family. So we're going to take care of that ministry there. We're going to put structures in place. We're going to make sure say the staffs are well paid. Then even if we involve the police, if me na social worker, I don't tell policeman say go arrest, arrest, I will get for follow up. Why be that policeman they not arrest? So you see, not now a whole system. It's not only a single department of police. It's not only the social worker involved. Like Brother Allo will talk about the judiciary system itself. So it's really interconnected. Then don't forget the system. There has to be a system where go monitor all this. We're going to make sure say the law is enforced. We're going to make sure say perpetrators then serve them time. We're going to make sure say examples are set. It no matter if you're not the presidency uncle or you're not the presidency weapon brother. If now you do that, rules is rules. No one should be against the rule. No one should be against the law. The rules should be implemented.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Indeed, nobody know for the above the law. We now something that they way sometimes na saloni they wonder if some people then they way the law not apply to. Mr. Hallowell, I want you say for Mount Panda one day.
Yeah, I think for one part we people already listen and the comments say for create more awareness. Say
Yes.
early marriage bad, or for give picking and early to man bad, and then they create awareness for education. Yes, we go accept that it good and it broad. Then what thing I can add, the already if you watch this law, it don't pass policy level. So, but because if it don't pass policy level now, it don't become a law of the land.
Mm-hmm.
I believe say if you, I not read them all it, but I will look at within the coming days. It gets way as to how it don't empower structures in our society for take action as against the defaulters then. So otherwise it's not going to become a law. The law get for bets. If you not bets, they're not a law. Still then it are policy. But once you don't go to parliament, you don't enact it, it don't become a legal property of the land. So whatever they did, say now in the bets, any man would engage the married 14-year-old Pekin, 15-year-old Pekin, una them paramount chief there. Now more now I get this problem. Now them paramount chief, then section chief, then leader there. Then them boys only and then community they always before so you need think. So I see them small Pekin here on a begin for them panel. Now I don't mean say Paul Papa the Pekin in a school. At a very early age, if you know control yourself, you know say that Pekin you 18 years you go be now. Well, and see, then we don't begin. I see one article where say the start me don't day off with hands of our guys. So this one now I just can't cover up the entire thing. So when I know say both raping or child molestation, all things they don't be covered now. So the structures in there, like how Mrs. Pierre talk, social welfare is empowered now. Literally, I hope say they go do them for empower social welfare more than give them all the resources and attention what they need for able to do their work. Like how I talk because normally social welfare work they be impaired in them community through bribery. And immediately begin affect them, now so it affects things at national level. But if social welfare get the opportunity to work freely and make sure say then they report to the police, then they report to other agencies then the agencies then they put that pressure on the police and the government for take action. Yes, we will able to see the impact. Then again, another law left civil society. Civil society then gets a role for play. And then we don't do behind this, they don't push and then we don't depress because normally I know say a salon way they can be fed for where something and bring an idea for a law, the government can drag a whole lot of it. Civil society, now they can push up at every level. They make noise now radio, they make noise at then communities and then workshop them before finally government is able to listen, for them can don't push now to the limit. So let's not forget civil society. They're supposed to be empowered. And I mean, no say, they tell me in this salon, government they give grants to the local NGOs. It's very difficult, except they get for partner with bigger NGOs. So this is an opportunity for make sure say local NGOs then, where they do very well on the floor, will get a monitoring and robust a reporting system in place, and therefore make sure say government self provide them some funding, give them some grants Then they make sure say they able to do them work here. So the report will come up from every quarters. And then reports are not for just scroll it down, now people them desk.
Mm-hmm.
And this was supposed for read and make sure say we get some so we read them, forget and inform decisions where we able to impact the fight against early marriage or whatever things are within the components of early marriage. So if we pay attention to them here, I think then we able help me. Then we will make the dent. We able reduce them. It not go be one thing. But over the years, instead of go be like any disease we don't fit, we don't get a cure for.
Thank you so much. Indeed, we need this battle not to one grain side and get for fetan. It get for be a multi-pronged approach for make it be anywhere near successful. I just went through a very final question to Una, because one of the things then right at the very beginning of the program where Mrs. Pierre mentioned, in fact, he say and like this, he say you know they cut the aid, you left the root. The truth of the matter is, if you cut the top of tick, you left the root. Once that root they reach water, it will go back. So I want for make we just talk very short, just a 1 minute contribution on how for tie in the actual cultural push and pull factors will not be addressed by this law, because really it looked like say this law was just plucked out and plunked down, and the surrounding factors or the surrounding scaffolding that it needs in order to be effective or not there. So waiting at the one thing where you go say locally need for change, in particular to the community the way um mostly affected with these child marriages. And I'm glad the way the name don't change from early marriage to child marriage, because now one thing I one day way when you call them within it be, then it give a different mindset. If you call an early marriage, it all carry any connotation of wrongdoing. But when you call on child marriage, it acts for deny say it is not right, and that it needs to stop. So I just want to ask another one thing there. Waiting at one push or pull factor where they occur locally, where you go say this one must be addressed. I go start with you, Mr. Hallowell.
Well, one of the impacts of early marriage you can it fear of child marriage, it fear illiteracy, and even like the United States report talk about death and illness system the way it promotes, because picking them they're not ripe for day within the marriage age. And you know what thing they happen married inside marriage na my main daddy business. So if picking are not strong, they're not get what he said and saying. In fact, that did feed to the infant mortality rates.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe say this law can push and make sure say all of them things then they change. So we know how infant mortality rates they affect to communities, stillbirths and other things there. So if picking them mature enough, now we'll get a healthy family, healthy babies, we then go impact the nation, we go impact your community. So we believe say then they will change when this law we monitor and we make sure say we do it in the law tell we it will able impact Dandy. And then the last one we want to talk again. Now, like since now law, I think say we dey monitor the implementation. We get the right for comeback. Normally we can say watch what's in the and the things that we left out, where the law no embrace. We get an opportunity for amend them in the future, maybe 4 or 5 years. We can look at them issues and we see how they impact the process or they impact the issue, and then make recommendations. Say maybe in the next revision or amendment, they can factor the inside. So I hope so that they all will consider that and that will help for change the calculus of child
Okay,
marriage.
thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Hallowell. Mrs. Pierre.
Yeah, I think we need to have strategies. Poverty is big. I think it's a main one. Reduction of poverty, go able for help for ladies law, be active. I think we need to find ways for engage the parents them for employment, job, maybe agriculture, something. We go make them get money, we go take care of their family. That they make man proud. We able for take care of the family. We, I can say now with daddy then hide them. Where they able for take care of them picking them. They know they allow no petty man or waiting because of you money like Kanya in picking. So I think if we able for do that, for we papa them, for let them engage, let them able get job, let them get means so then go able for take care of their family. And if you say I don't care what kind of money we get, who Kanya the girl beginning. I think I know the big one we get.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Spear. And me just want to add, say, I think say one of the other thing there now, this idea, say, for educate girl picking losses, because sometimes you go get belly before they done school. Boku girl picking and they were able to do so much. We, if you look safe now, plenty woman there, we God don't bless them, manage come out of salon, then they a country outside they're able to get the education there. Now then they take care of them one whole family. In some cases, not to just the immediate family, now the one whole extended family. Now this one girl picking where God manage for bless and allow for getting education and they take care of them. So me think say part of that day now this idea say girl picking them less then get less value than boy picking there. Now, one of the mindsets and then the way need for change. But I want to tell you a very, very big thank you. Both me panelists, them, Mrs. Pierre and Mr. Hallowell. I really enjoy the discussion and I hope say next week. I've been really they think say today we go get into a discussion of this new law or new paper where they want the president for change with the judiciary system. But I think say we go bring that we go talk about that next week. But thank you very much for all una um, contributions today. I want to thank all we viewer them, all we listener them. Una thank you for stay with we. And I hope say una self enjoy the discussions. So I want to bring on we panelists them, make them say goodbye and give una their final message. Mr. Hallowell.
Fambulen, una thank you for we una pay attention and just always as I can tell you now we owe it to Dr. Richard Conte. Let we not forget him and very soon we go see him and again for come up in the next coming weeks with interviews. So I see somebody talk na the text say now for contact people like Dr. Richard Conte because they know and understand them views. They are indeed not true. Dr. Conte gets a lot of idea about this. So tell me thank you for one that listen. Wanna take care and tata.
Thank you, Mr. Hallowell. Mrs. Pierre.
Family Una, thank you for giving Una time them and we appreciate Una comments them and continue for follow continue for follow Dr. Richard Conte and see the wonderful ideas then where he gets and no saying a man we ready for work for we country and we get the right people and insight for make Salon a better place. God bless.
Thank you, my viewers. Thank you, listeners. And by God power, we go meet again next week. Wanna have a great week.